All right, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. So, the courts have suspended Giuliani's law license. Wow. The former mayor of New York, once the top federal prosecutor in Manhattan, is now temporarily barred from practicing law in the state of New York, and he is facing disbarment. How did it come to this? Well, New York State Appellate Court temporarily suspended Mr. Giuliani's license on the recommendation of a disciplinary committee after finding that he had sought to mislead judges, lawmakers, and the public as he helped shepherd Mr. Trump's legal challenge to the election results. Y'all remember the 2021 election, or 2020 election rather? You guys remember the whole fiasco? Giuliani kept saying that the ballots were stolen and there were fake voters and dead people had voted. He was basically misleading the public. Not only that, he took it to a courtroom like he wanted to fight legally on paper, and he made a whole lot of accusations. Now, these accusations are kind of flimsy and not worth much if you're just a regular Joe Schmo, but he is not just a regular Joe Schmo. He was the leading lawyer for the President of the United States of America. The seriousness of respondents' unconverted misconduct cannot be overstated. This country is being torn apart by continued attacks on the legitimacy of the 2020 elections and of our current president, Joseph R. Biden, the decision read. Now, you got to remember that there are people right now who still believe that Donald Trump is president. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. There are people who refuse to accept that Joe Biden won the election. If you drive around in certain places, I am here in Florida and I've driven around and I've seen the flags flying. People are flying their Donald Trump flags. People have even made custom flags with Donald Trump holding an AR-15 and dressed like Rambo, and it's like a crazy cult following. Okay? And Mr. Giuliani supposedly should have been the better person, should have given his client better advice. I have a theory about that, but stick to the end. Let's go through this. So, according to the New York Times, Mr. Giuliani now faces disciplinary proceedings and he can fight the suspension, but the court said that its decision that he would be likely to face permanent sanctions after the proceedings concluded. A final outcome could take months, but could include his disbarment. Disbarment means he would never be able to practice law again in New York City. But never worry, because he is not only a lawyer in New York. Mr. Giuliani's lawyers, John and Barry, said in a statement that they were disappointed that the panel had acted before holding a hearing on the allegations. This is unprecedented, they said, as we believe that our client does not pose a present danger to the public's interests. This is what his lawyer said. Do y'all remember that riot that followed the election decision? Or was it around the time the election decision? You remember the riot at the Capitol, right? Well, let me show you how Giuliani had a big part in it. We believe that once the issues are fully explored, this is what Giuliani's lawyers are saying. He is a top lawyer that now needs a team of lawyers to defend him. And guess what? His homeboy, Donald Trump, is nowhere in sight. Mr. Giuliani will be reinstated, is what his lawyers are saying. And we're going to fight this to the bitter end. He served so very well for so many years. How could y'all do him like this? Mr. Giuliani is also licensed to practice law in Washington, D.C. And the decision in New York could set off disciplinary proceedings there in Washington, D.C. as well. Although it's not automatic, but it could. So the suspension marked another stunning chapter in the rise and fall of Mr. Giuliani. Once a legal and political star, he enjoyed near hero status when he was New York's mayor and he led the city of New York through the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. You know, things were vulnerable and volatile back then. I mean, everybody needed somebody back then. And Giuliani stepped up to the plate and he did his thing. A lot of people hated him back then as well. But we can talk about that on another video. Before that, he was a hard-charging prosecutor who was known for battling organized crimes. He took on the mob. He put away a lot of big mob bosses, corruption, and politics. But he is now being investigated by the United States Attorney's Office in Manhattan, the very same office that he once led, and faces the prospect of being banned from the legal profession of law in which he has worked now for more than 5 decades. So a federal investigation into Mr. Giuliani's center on his dealings in Ukraine before the 2020 election, when he sought to damage President Biden's credibility. In April, FBI agents seized Mr. Giuliani's cell phone and computers, an extraordinary action to take against a lawyer of a former president. There was a FBI raid on his house and his business place office. And they took his cell phones and they took computers and they took written documents and all that stuff. And from that comes this. Prosecutors have been investigating whether Mr. Giuliani illegally lobbied the Trump administration in 2019 on behalf of Ukrainian officials and oligarchs who were assisting Mr. Giuliani's efforts to dig up some dirt in the Ukraine on Mr. Biden and his son. Mr. Giuliani has denied any wrongdoings. Well, the New York court's decision is not related to that investigation though, but examine Mr. Giuliani's efforts to overturn the results of the November presidential election. From nearly the moment on election day when Fox News declared that Mr. Biden had won Arizona, Mr. Giuliani urged Mr. Trump to fight the outcome, he said. In a handful of battleground states, Mr. Trump tapped Mr. Giuliani to lead his legal efforts. Mr. Giuliani tried to center Mr. Trump's attention on Georgia in particular. But while Mr. Giuliani repeatedly claimed he could prove widespread fraud in the elections, including proving that dead people had casted ballots, guess what? He did not offer not one instance of evidence, not one shred. So he was going around on all these major media networks saying this stuff. And given who he is, an elected official and lawyer representing the president, that holds weight. So a lot of people were believing what he was saying. Hence the reason why so many people, patriots they call themselves, were ready to pick up their guns and were ready to put on armor and go out into the streets and really start a war. He traveled the country to press his claims with lawmakers in several battleground states. Now, on January 6th, Mr. Giuliani addressed a rally by Trump supporters, and this is where he put his foot in his mouth at. On January 6th of 2021, Mr. Giuliani addressed a rally by Trump supporters near the White House ahead of the certification of the Electoral College vote in Congress. Mr. Giuliani told the crowd that he sought a trial by combat. Yes, right there. A short time later, hundreds of Trump supporters left the rally and swarmed the Capitol, breaking into the building and threatening lawmakers. I believe one law enforcement official even lost their life in that incident. And there were a lot of people who were saying, man, that's funny, because if that was a black crowd, there would have been dead bodies on those steps of that Capitol. But they were allowed to tear that Capitol apart, to go inside of the Capitol to take over the Capitol completely. There were even people doing selfies, taking pictures with their feet up on Nancy Pelosi's desk and all that. It was Giuliani who addressed that large crowd that was nearby the Capitol and told them that he wanted a trial by combat. He didn't need to say go straight over there and do that. Once he said he wanted trial by combat, it was already on. He was already speaking for days and weeks leading up to this moment about the election being stolen and we must fight for it. Now, in Thursday's decision, the New York court said that false statements like the ones that he made tarnished the reputation of the entire legal profession of law. Mr. Giuliani's misconduct directly inflamed the tensions that led to the Capitol riot, the courts said. Finally, someone is being held accountable who is more than just a regular person. Because we all saw it and we all know that high-ranking officials were involved. That riot at the Capitol was staged and they had inside help getting the people in. Even law enforcement officials on the outside downplayed their powers like we had never seen before to allow those people to tear that place apart. Only has to look at the ongoing present public discord over the 2020 election, which erupted into violence, insurrections, and death on January 6th of 2021 at the U.S. Capitol, to understand the extent of that damage that can be done when the public is misled by false information about the elections by someone who is so high-ranking and is supposed to be someone credible. The courts noted, for instance, that Mr. Giuliani repeatedly claimed tens of thousands of underage teenagers have voted illegally in Georgia, is what he said. Tens of thousands of underage teens have voted illegally in Georgia. You know what was happening in Georgia? There was a large turnout of African American young people like never before. And they changed Georgia from red to blue. An audit by the Georgia office of the Secretary of State found that no one under the age of 18 voted in that 2020 election. Not even one case. Still, Mr. Giuliani continued to repeat the false claim as recently as April 27th on his radio show. The court said, after a disciplinary committee had already petitioned the court to suspend his law license, and he was given notice of this. So in other words, what he said when he got that warning was, I don't give a damn. Y'all can't do anything to me. I'm good friends with the multi-billionaire Donald Trump. I'm untouchable. I'm Giuliani. Well, that came back to bite him in the ass because his New York license is now suspended. Temporarily, yes, but he is facing a permanent. Mr. Giuliani is also facing a defamation lawsuit. The company's name is Dominion Voting Systems, and they are the ones that are responsible through electronics for collecting all the votes and whatnot. They are accusing him of spreading a viral disinformation campaign about the company's machine manipulating vote tallies. They are seeking $1.3 billion in damages from Mr. Giuliani. And he and his law team has called the lawsuit intimidation by the hate-filled left wing. Let's see where this goes. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this one. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace. This one is for my New York City people. And I'm talking about all 5 boroughs. Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Long and Staten Island. I'm talking to you. Are you tired of your floors, your wooden floors looking all torn up, looking all dull and faded? Do you want that glamorous shine? Well, you need to call Mr. G. Now, Mr. G is located in Queens, New York. So if you're in Queens, New York, you're closer to him. But Mr. G also said that no job is too near or too far. No job is too big or too small. Okay, so he can handle the distance. He will travel to you. Garfield Scarlett is the CEO of this company, and his cell phone number and his office number are listed right here. Or let me just say them out loud for you. 718-525-2640. 508-596-0867. His cell phone number is 508-596-0867, and his office number is 718-525-2640. Or you can reach him at Garfield_Scarlett@yahoo.com. This brother has over 15 years in experience in installation, in sanding, in staining, in ratcheting, in finishing. He does it all when it comes to your floors. And get this, he has a free estimates available. So call Mr. G right now and get your floors right now. And tell him SouFLoTV sent you.
When you ride that body, so deep it ignites me. You're my Caribbean lady, island girl.
Alright, my SouFLoTV audience, look at this promo right here. This a bad one. Malik is the name of the artist, otherwise called Yardy Boy. Island Girls is the name of the song, and the video is chopping. Now, Malik has been in the game for a while right now, and after meeting up with the owners of Madstorm Productions, they decided to drop this single called Island Girls. Malik is a gifted artist who is determined to reach Jamaica and the rest of the world with his songs. So Island Girls is just the beginning. Subscribe, leave your comments about his music by clicking the link below. Let him know how you feel. This one could be an anthem for the Island Girls, of course. It's already garnered over 200,000 views on YouTube. Let's send it to 1 million views. Right there, sir.
When you ride that body, so deep it ignites me. You're my Caribbean lady, island girl.
I just wanna love her. I just wanna love her. So give me one reason. Give me one reason to.
Alright, my SouFLoTV audience, it's time for some promo again. So Semantic is his name. He's Magnum Kings and Queens Season 10 winner. Currently working with Madstorm Productions out of Boston, Massachusetts. Now, this is their first single, and after speaking, they came to an agreement to do timeless music. This is an outstanding DJ, but we know that his vocals could go timeless. So they did the single called Wanna Love.
I just wanna love. So give me one reason. Give me one reason to. I just wanna love her. I just wanna love her.
The single and the video you can go listen to and watch over on his YouTube channel by clicking the link. Okay? Now let the music lovers around the globe be the judge. When I hear this, I hear Chris Brown. When I hear this, I hear Neo. When I hear this, I hear Omi. Remember Omi? Ooh, I think I found myself a cheerleader. That one there? When I think of this, or when I hear this, I hear a classic banger that can transcend all boundaries and become a massive international hit. Madstorm Productions is on to something with this one. Please go watch the full video and click the link and subscribe over there. Tell them SouFLoTV sent you. Alright?
I just wanna love her. I just wanna love her. So give me one reason. Give me one reason to.
I'm at the highway, I'm at the highway, I'm at the highway, I'm at the highway. It all started in an empty highway. Ask if I'm gon' ride, I say away. Sliding, sliding. Police right behind me, trying to die tonight. C4 if you try and blow like dynamite.
Alright, so that's T Viral, and he has released Hallways, and this is his second single on his YouTube channel called Sliding. Hit the link in the description below or in the comments section pinned. Go over to T Viral's channel, hit that subscribe button over there, and check out his music.
Sliding, sliding. Police right behind me, tryna die tonight. C4 if you try and blow like dynamite.
Alright, listen, so you started a business, right? Whether it's a brick and mortar business or a business online. How is your business doing? Is it doing well? Do you need promotions? You cannot afford to start a business and not do promotions. Promotions is what it's all about. Some people have a big budget. That way they can spend a whole lot of money on these huge platforms. MSNBC, NBC, CNN, all those. Your budget might not be that. Those are $1 million budgets. At the same time, you can still reach a demographic of people that might be interested in your business. And how do you do that? You do that by piggybacking on one of these channels that the core audience of that channel is also the type of people you are trying to reach with your business. It works, okay? Hook up, give me a call, or shoot me an email and let's get your promo going right now. I don't care what business it is. I can send people to you. Now, before we go, let me say this. I am not guaranteeing you a certain amount of subscribers. You are the one that will have to, or I'm not guaranteeing you a certain amount of people that will come. You are the one that has to continue to push your business. Okay, with you promoting your business yourself and me promoting your business for you, there's no way you can't win. So give me a call right now or shoot me an email and let's work this out. I have a promotion special going on right now. Pretty much anybody can afford this, okay? It is more than half of what I normally do things for. Get in on a deal before it's gone. I've been running it for 2 weeks. The intention is to run it for 4 weeks. So let this one pass you. Call right now. Email right now. Let's get this moving. Promotions, promotions, promotions. That's what it's all about.